For today's Cyber CEO episode,
I can honestly say that having her as a part of the team, I could have probably 2 more of her, even though I love my staff. One of my biggest wins, my clients are noticing how far in advance we're working. And all of this is because of her, because of what she does, and because how on task she is and how she takes pride in her work and how quickly she does things. We're able to get our numbers down by half of inquiries, and that's because of her.
welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show. Grace, how are you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking and for being on the show today. I know you're very busy. Really appreciate your time. Now, to start things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners just like yourself. So I need your help here real quick. Can you tell us something about yourself, Grace, and your business?
Sure. I'm the director of a property management company. And so very early on, really just trying to make things as successful as I possibly can. And of course, reaching out for help in whichever way that I can. And then, of course, ran across this awesome platform. So basically, I'm just really just busy as a bee and needed some help, to accomplish the goals. So
needed help to accomplish the goals, of course. Now, how did you find out about Cyberbacker in the first place?
Well, actually, I have part of the company that I have is part of a parent company, and our parent company was actually working with the Cyberbacker, and I was sharing with them and like how business was coming in, and they offered like, hey, why don't you check out this platform, and we have a Cyberbacker, and they have been working out very well, and it may be something that you can you could possibly use. So I was like, okay, well. A little skeptical at first, if I could be honest, but as we were going through, got very comfortable, and yeah, it was just, it's a really good thing. We're having a good time.
Good to know that you're having a great experience with your Cyberbacker. So basically, this is your first time then working with someone virtual. Am I right?
Yes.
First go.
Yes.
Now, was it a big change for you personally? Because a lot of our guests on the show, again, mentioned skeptical at first, hearing about the idea of virtual leverage, of course. Now, how was the transition for you, though? Of course, working with people in an office setup now, everything's going a bit more virtual. So talk to me about that transition, Grace.
Yeah. So we were a little old school, just and when I say old school, meaning like, we're used to coming in, checking in, clocking in, in the aspect being able to physically touch a person, if you will. And so when the whole idea came up about working with someone virtually, that's where the skepticism came into play, because I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know, how it would work out, and then immediately I began to think about, well, what is that person going to do? I got a lot that can be done. I need some help with things. But what it really did, honestly, was open my mindset up as to where things could be done virtually or, without hands-on versus I can give this over to someone and they take it and run with it. So it really just opened up my mind as to other possibilities. But it also, and that skepticism as everything began to come into play, it quickly left, because the process was so seamless and they made me feel so comfortable with it. So by the time we actually were ready to rock and roll with everything, it was like she was already part of the family. So, everything worked out. And all I had to basically do at that point was, introduce her to my staff, and, we move forward from there. So.
Go. Now, talking about that process, though, talk to me first about the hiring process. Doing interviews on Zoom, communicating with our career backers, of course. Now, how did that experience go for you?
Actually, it was really good. It took out the whole process of me having to call someone, having to, have that person to confirm, the whole regular
scheduling
process.
Everything. Yeah,
exactly. All of that was done for me, which was great. And all I had to do was basically sit in, as the interviewing process was going forward. I could ask my questions as normal. I began to get to know the person just like I would normally do as I'm interviewing, a regular. Literally, the only difference is that the person was not in front of me, physically, but I felt like that they were right in the room. So that process in itself was so very well, because and it really made me think about the fact that as other positions came available, I was like, okay, can we do this Zoom? Can we do this? It really made me think about like how, the process with the Cyberbacker was. I was like, oh man, okay. All right, let me go back to my regular way because I almost got a little spoiled.
So it really opened up a lot of, let's say, new things, especially interviews on Zoom, something that we can do now, of course. Thank God for technology.
Yes.
Now, I want to know more about your Cyberbacker, though. Nina, talk to me about her. Talk to me about tasks. What are the tasks then that you ask her to help you with every day?
Oh my God. So she is, I know that there are several, that there are others. I believe I have the best. I'm just going to say that. I love her. I love her. She is, she's so respectful. She's so kind. She sends us messages every morning, and I told her from the beginning, because she's not here, but I wanted her to feel like she was a part of the staff, a part of the family here, working together. So we incorporate her into everything, so as we're talking, as we're, maneuvering different tasks, the tasks that she does, she started out in one way for me and just kind of helping, to like, helping with my emails and different things like that. But then she also had her own still task of a job duty, to do as one of my admins. And so she filtered all of that in together, and just worked it seamless. And when I tell you that I can honestly say that having her as a part of the team, I could have probably two more of her. Even though I love my staff, but I can have probably, I'm just going to say I can have two more of her and make some things a little bit more efficient. But, the task that I give her, and I can give her anything. Wow. This is what I love about it. I can give her anything. And although, now let me say this first, this industry was brand new to her. Like she's going in, don't know nothing about, no experience in it. But she was selected based off of her previous experiences. So I knew that she could handle the job based from what she had already been doing. It was just going to be a matter of her learning this industry, learning what we do and all of that. So, I do want to encourage anyone else who's listening to this, or looking at this program to, don't be concerned if the person does not know your industry.
That's true.
Because when I tell you that she jumped in, head first, foot first, whatever, however you want to call it, right? She jumped right in. They took all the information. She got as much information. Her team got as much information to make everybody comfortable. Like everybody was working together as a team. And so by the time, she was, because there is a little period there, just a small period there for training. And But just in that short amount of time of that training aspect, she was part of she was ready to go. And she was so open about learning. She wanted to learn more. So anything that I gave her, she was open to it. She just wanted to know, how can I do it? And how can I do it the way that you want me to? And even in that, I could tell her something. This is why I love her so much. I could tell her something, just an idea. I could talk about Nina all day.
Of course.
I've given her a task.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what it looks like. It's just a thought in my mind, of something that I just needed to have to make things that I'm working on a little bit more efficient.
Wow.
And she just took those ideas and formulated it into something for me, into a document for me or whatever that I needed,
Wow.
So that's why I said, just don't be afraid to, allow this person to come in and really just, be open with them. I shared with her, I told her, where things were as far as the office goes and how, who everyone is. Like, I just really brought her in so she can really understand, what we do and how we do it. And, I would hope, of course, that I know she's pretty comfortable because part of my staff now talks to her more than she talks to me. But that's because I'm busy off doing some other stuff too. So, it's not all her fault, but she always makes it a point, to send me a message every morning of good morning, to her, to me. And, that means a lot. So I'm gonna stop because I can talk about her all day. I'm telling you.
It just feels to me that you've already found your perfect partner, that your perfect teammate in Nina, your cyberbacker. But my next question is something related to that. The partnership that you have with your cyberbacker. How did it get to this point? Because I know you and I can both agree on this. For a partnership or a relationship to work, you both have to work on it. It's a two-way street.
Yes.
Now, how did you do it? Because we get that a lot. We get that question a lot. How do I work with someone virtual? A lot of our clients ask that. So what I'd like to know is, how did you and Nina do it, Grace?
Well, basically, there were questions that were asked, like basic questions, about the industry that I'm in and what our company does. And I opened up to her, any questions as well that she may have had, because remember, as I said in the beginning, this is all brand new to her. Yeah. So, I had to kind of step back and have some patience to say, hey, this is what it is. This is how we work. And then I'm breaking down the details of, the job description in itself and what that expectation looked like. And, but also she already had, her list of things of an expectation, because it's a two-way road. True. Even though she is, ours, but also, there is that expectation from as well. True. To be able to give her. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't been. She has to stay on me because I am in the middle of some things quite often, and so she has to remind me, of things, or she's like really that virtual assistant. She's but she's a real person. She's not AI. She's she's really a real person. Yeah, and so she will. So even and I said that to say, I'm open enough and comfortable enough with her to where even if I'm not showing up in a way that I should, that she has enough in her to come and say, okay, Miss Grace, don't forget, we need XYZ, or we got to do this. And I respect that, because she knows that my goal is to be as successful as I can be. And sometimes, us as the boss or however,
leader, yeah.
We sometimes we lose track of that. We're just trying to get things done. But you kind of need that person to just kind of like be there, on that side and say, hey, don't forget you need this, or you need to, we're waiting on this from you or whatever, and not feel some type of way about it because they're coming to remind you. Now, in the beginning, I was getting a little frustrated, and that's only because it's not nothing because of Nina. It was because I felt like I was letting her down. Mm-hmm. That's just how much on task she was, and still is, because she's in partnership with me. So,
how long have you been working together, Grace? If you don't mind me asking.
We're coming up on 8 months. 8-9 months, I believe it is.
So not yet a year, and a lot of success between you in this partnership between you and Nina. Imagine what you can do, let's say a year from today, or let's say 2 years from today, right? That's exciting.
Right. Absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
Talking about success, one of the things that we love about working with clients like yourself is hearing about, of course, the great results that you've achieved ever since you partnered with your Cyberbacker. Now, sharing these success stories to our audience could be very inspiring and educational. Now, can you tell us about one of your biggest wins ever since you started working with your Cyberbacker? And do you have any data or any metrics that you can share with us today, Grace?
One of my biggest wins, I can say is my clients are noticing how far in advance we're working. So that's not something that I can share but they're saying it to me, that they're noticing how, and all of this is because of her, because of what she does, and because how on task she is, and how she takes pride in her work and how quickly she does things. She's literally now working 60 to 90 days ahead. And that's something that we have been trying to get to for a long time. And we just really, been kind of hitting and missing, with it, as it goes. For the most part, staying on task. But you have those moments there. But it literally got to the point to where I said, okay, I might have to reel her back a little bit, of working, because some of our clients were like, well, I don't even know. She's asking me questions. I don't even know, if I'm ready to answer that yet. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, kind of thing. And I was like, wow, so where some people would look at that like, that she's being a bother, but I'm like, yes, okay, because it's ahead of time, she's working really ahead. So, and when I say that she is, because she's working that far in advance, we're able to get our numbers down by half, of inquiries that we still have to work on. Because basically, what happens is that for us, and we do property management is the industry. So, we reach out to our owners to ask if they want to renew, with their tenants. And so by doing so, we're able now to work far enough in advance to give everybody time to make the proper decisions, and it's not last minute, and we can still maneuver. So we can reach out to that owner far enough in advance, and reach out to that tenant to have them have the opportunity to make whatever decisions they need to make, and still be able to do things on the back end, that we need to do as a company. And that's because of her.
So she's really almost everywhere in the business, and it's just great to hear these experiences and these stories, of course, of success in a span of 8 months. Imagine that success.
Yes.
Something very exciting, something to look forward to for the future, of course. Now, we've been talking about Nina for a while now, and for sure, once we have this online, she's going to be able to listen and watch this. So I was wondering, do you have any special messages or a quick shout out to your rockstar Cyberbacker before we end today?
Absolutely. I would say, in talking directly to her, Nina, you are beyond the best. I know that things were questionable in the beginning, and that's because you were beginning to learn the industry and beginning to learn what we do as a company. Your skills and your abilities have increased beyond what I can imagine. And I just want to encourage you to continue on, to keep pressing on. Keep pressing on. There's greatness inside of you. And I am so very blessed that you are a part of our team and to be a part of your growth and your success. So I love you. You know that. I know that might be a little awkward, but you know how I am, and with my staff, that they're just not people, and you're not just a person, but you are more than that. You're family for me. So keep up the good work.
Part of the team, part of the family. Now, we are very, very excited to see the continued success of this partnership all throughout the years. And again, Grace, thank you very much for dropping by today. I had fun talking to you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.